The 2023 Annual Woodstock School Reunion was held in Tempe, Arizona. Former students, staff, and parents of students came from across the United States and Canada. Some had traveled from other countries. Friends were happy to see each other in person since the past two annual reunions were virtual. Throughout the weekend, Shalini Prakash Agarwal offered free tea from her family-owned Glenberg Tea Estates in Darjeeling and Assam. Assisted by Mary Pell, the tea stall became a popular gathering place. In another popular corner, there was always a line in front of the free lychee cocktail bar. The delicious drink concocted by Greg Ray included 100% lychee juice, lime juice, syrup, gin, and the white of an egg. On the floor, Lakshmi began a beautiful, elaborate rangoli that, when finished, was displayed on a table. Also in the mall were loads of lovely items to purchase. Beautiful centerpieces adorned the tables for the opening banquet. Lori, chair of the Reunion Planning Committee, welcomed everyone. Woodstock School Principal Craig Cook, who had traveled from Missouri, brought greetings. That evening, it was the native spirit hoop dance that stole the show. Energized by the evening's program and the excitement of seeing old friends, travel-weary attendees finally headed to bed. In the morning, Bruce Davis, Alumni Board President, called the traditional annual business meeting to order. First off, he introduced the new Alumni Board President, David Shastri, of the class of 2009.
A little bit about me. So I am a lifer, like some of you. So my parents were actually missionaries. They were with the Emmanuel Hospital Association. And before coming to Missouri, we were posted in a small town called Raksol in Bihar, right on the border of Bihar and Nepal.
Bruce also introduced the newest board member, Ben Henderson, also from the class of 2009.
All right. Can everyone hear me? Yes. Good morning. There we go. Happy to be here. Super happy to be on the board. This is my first in-person board meeting, and yesterday was very special.
Treasurer Steve Van Rooy let us know that we were financially sound. We learned that the next major renovation project will be Parker Hall. We will be hearing more about it as the board has committed $1 million to the project. The keynote address that morning was delivered by Mike Singh, class of 71, and Rana Sodhi, a resident of Phoenix. For the reunion, Mike, a filmmaker, produced an outstanding 17-minute movie, which was the main part of the keynote. Called Second Heaven, it told the story of the tragic gunning down of Rana Sodhi's brother, who after 9/11, because he was wearing a turban, was thought to be an Arab. Following the movie, Rana told his personal story of moving from tragedy to forgiveness and his involvement in the interfaith community of Phoenix. It was a most powerful keynote, which gave an opportunity for important questions and discussions to follow. After the keynote, important, interesting, and timely workshops followed. Sammy de Pascal told of his involvement with immigrants at the U.S.-Mexican border. Pavel Kapinos informed about the war in Ukraine. John Martin let us know about his work through the years with forest management. Beth Ann Ray and husband Greg Ray shared pictures of their fascinating trips around the world. Dr. Gladys Taylor McGarry, delighted everyone with her humorous reminiscing about life of a Woodstock student back in the 20s and 30s. Saturday was Kanan Night with many dressed in their Indian finest. Everyone stood for the singing of Jana Gana Mana, the national anthem of India, which many knew by heart. With everyone still standing, Woodstock's beloved Shadows was sung. After dinner, auctioneer Marlon Schoonmaker auctioned 3 wood carvings. Earlier, Marlon had obtained a block of wood from the historic lyre tree and had given it to Tim Larson to carve something for the auction.
Going once to Glenn. $12.50 going twice to Glenn. Sold to Glenn Conrad.
The 3 carvings generated over $2,000 for Woodstock. Merriment continued that evening with dancing. First, a candle dance. The beautiful butterfly dance followed. And then it was Bollywood. Additional Bollywood dancers were somewhat aggressively recruited from the audience. First, it was the women. Next, the men. And finally, the presence of Glenn Conrad was demanded, though he kind of drifted off to the side once the dance began. All of the good sports made for a most enjoyable evening together. For late night Woodstockers, there was continuing enjoyment in the sports lounge. The next morning, led by Cheryl Beachy Pavlich, the traditional Sunday morning worship was held. As usual, Robert Bonham blessed us with his music. The message was led by Joel Berkestrand. Jonathan Larson related a story from the life of Dan Terry. Jackie Horton Benjamin served as liturgist, and Lynn led the choir. And the traditional in memoriam, remembering and celebrating the lives of students, staff, parents, and spouses who had passed away since the last reunion, was shared by Max Marble, with Carol Rue Green and Jim Rue reading the names of the deceased. After the service, many headed to Saro Lake for a cruise organized by Dale Brown. The weather for the cruise did not disappoint. It was a beautiful day for being out on the water. The final banquet out on the hotel's Milagro patio was followed by a sing-song of some of the favorite Woodstock songs.
What had happened to Ali Zaidi and his chicken.
Then it was story time, with students getting up one after another to share enjoyable memories of the Woodstock School experience.
My generation has lots of romance going on.
All too quickly, the 2003 Woodstock School Reunion drew to a close. Next year, it will be held in beautiful Estes Park, Colorado, on June 14 through 16, 2024. We hope to see you there.